Let's bring in Andrew Wallace, MP and Shadow Attorney General. Andrew Wallace, good morning.
Good morning to your listeners.
You've been vocal in your support for Sussan Ley, but does she have enough support to keep her job?
Well, I believe she does. Sussan has done a very good job under extremely difficult circumstances. Whether it's coming off the back of 2 electoral defeats, which is hard enough in itself to be the opposition leader, but I don't believe she's been given an adequate opportunity, a reasonable opportunity to succeed or, for that matter, to fail. I think she needs to be given a reasonable time, a reasonable opportunity, because when you look at the last 9 months, and that's all it has been, is just 9 months, it's been a very, very tumultuous period for our country, and particularly for the coalition, having broken up twice. We've had our worst terrorist attack on Australian soil in that time, which she did an exemplary job in bringing Australians together. So I think she is due more time. It is entirely reasonable.
She is, however, the leader at a time when the party's polling is abysmal. Does she need to take responsibility and blame for that, and can the party survive it?
Well, I think we all need to take responsibility for that, Sarah. This is, it's not a party of one. It's a party and a coalition of many. The Liberal Party, 51 individuals, members and senators, and we all need to step up and take accountability for the results. But the polling results, I think, are directly reflective of the anger that Australians are feeling towards the government. We have the fastest decline in Australia in living standards in Australia, greater than any other country in the OECD. Australians are doing it very, very tough in this cost of living crisis. They're angry at the government, but they're also angry at us because they feel that we're not united in keeping this government to account.
Would a leadership change then be a fresh slate for you lot?
Well, look, the problem is not just with leadership. We all have to take accountability for where we stand right now. And so in that regard, I don't think it would.
You have been saying that, and I heard this on Sky News last night, people have been trying to undermine Sussan Ley. Who's been trying to undermine her?
Well, I'm not going to go into details about that now. I mean, at the end of the day, within probably 24 hours, we are going to need to rebuild this party. So I'm not going to throw stones. This needs to be done in a dignified manner. And I think it's very, very important that what is said over the next 24 hours is respectful to all our colleagues. At the end of the day, within that 24-hour period, we need to get back on the horse and start being a unified opposition to hold this government to account.
If Angus Taylor is the next leader, is he the right man for the job?
Well, look, I support Sussan. I think that Sussan has done a very good job under very difficult circumstances. So my support lies with Sussan.
They're talking that the numbers are very tight. What do you expect to happen over the coming hours in terms of, should we expect to see more of Angus Taylor's supporters resigning and forcing some kind of move?
Well, it's convention in a Westminster parliamentary democracy that if a front bench member, whether it's in government or in opposition, if they no longer have confidence in their leader, then they must step down. So if my colleagues are of that view, then they should step down.
Talking of stepping down, do you see Sussan Ley fighting this? Will she go into a challenge, or is she likely to resign from the position and perhaps let someone else stand up against Angus Taylor?
That's a really good question, and I see Sussan as a very strong individual. Here's a woman who has been told all her life that she won't be able to do this, she won't be able to do that. She's been an air traffic controller, she's been a pilot, she's been a farmer, you name it, she's just about done it. But all her life, if you sit down and have the opportunity to sit down and talk to her, all her life she's been told that she won't be able to do something. I think that she has an incredible strength, and if you look at what she has been able to do over the last 9 months, I think when you see that, you can see a woman of incredible strength.
So you think, yes, she will fight?
Absolutely, she will fight.
Right. And we look back at, I guess, what she's been doing in the months that she has had this position. Is she capable of keeping the moderates and the Conservatives within your party happy and together? And I ask this through the prism, of course, of the rise of One Nation.
Look, I think the rise of One Nation is as a result of unhappiness in the government, and as I said earlier, an unhappiness that we are not unified. We're not united in holding the government to account. One Nation is a protest vote. We have to work hard to bring those people back to the Liberal Party, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is demonstrate to Australians that we are a united force and we have sound policies that have them, Australians, at the core of their best interests when we formulate those policies and we prosecute our political agenda.
Is there any concern at all about what the ousting of the Liberal Party's first female leader, what could that do to the party optics-wise? I think I'm speaking here.
Yeah. Look, Sussan is obviously our first female leader of the Liberal Party. That goes without saying. But I think that the brand damage is done. We've seen that before with the Rudd Gillard Rudd, and then our own situation when we were in government. So it's never an easy time when a leader is deposed. So I think it's whether it's male, female, it's never a good time. It's never clean. It's always ugly, and there's always an electoral backlash as a result.
Would you put your hand up, Andrew Wallace, to be a running mate with Sussan Ley if it came to that?
Not on your Nelly.
Why?
Look, I think that I am better served as a front bencher. I am enjoying my role. I've only been in the parliament 10 years. I think that there's one thing that really shines through in my 10 years experience in this place, and that is you can't beat experience. The longer you are in this place, the more you learn about what goes on, and that's incredibly important. You can't beat experience, and I'm not directing that at anybody in particular, but Sussan's been here for 24 years. She's been here a long time. That's something, that I learned from Peter Dutton. Peter Dutton used to say, you can't beat experience in this place. And whether it's this place or, my old job as a carpenter, it doesn't matter. You can't beat experience.
Look, you do have some experience, and in your experience, how would you say the next couple of hours, maybe days, are going to play out? When do you think we might see this leadership challenge called, and when might it happen?
Well, look, I'm not a mind reader, but I hope that this will be done and dusted certainly by lunchtime tomorrow, Friday. We need to get this done and dusted so that we can get back to our main focus, and that is the focus of looking after the interests of Australians. And
if there's a vote, how close will it be?
I suspect it will be very close.
Well, I appreciate you joining us this morning, Andrew Wallace. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Sarah.
Andrew Wallace, bye-bye, the Shadow Attorney General there. He's backing Sussan Ley, says Sussan Ley will be up for the fight if Angus Taylor does put it to her. He hasn't officially, at this point, called a leadership spill, but we are starting to see the dominoes falling into place. He, of course, resigned from the front bench last night. We were then told a number of his supporters were likely to do the same today, and the Liberal front bencher Claire Chandler has just resigned.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.